Hey, welcome to Second Chance Youth Ranch TV. On this program tonight, we have a very special guest, not only a former foster parent, but now an adoptive mom. So don't go away, we'll be right back with Nicole Bentley. Welcome to Second Chance Youth Ranch TV. I'm your host, Perry Black, and our special guest is a former foster mama and now a forever mama. If you don't know what that means, that's exactly why the Lord has you tuning in. Our guest is Nicole Bentley. Nicole, how long did you work at the ranch on site?
I worked there for 3.5 years.
3.5 years. Seemed longer.
It did.
And now you're single.
Yes.
But that leads me to believe, I'm the founder of the ranch, it leads me to believe that a single person can be a foster parent. And so in this show, we want you to get to know Nicole and her story, because a lot of people say, well, you know, I'm single, I can't be a foster parent, or I'm poor, I don't have money to give. We disqualify ourselves. But we want you to recognize that whom God calls, He qualifies. And I believe, because you're watching this show, that this is a divine appointment for you to encounter a personal story of someone like Nicole who can be used by the Holy Spirit to inspire you to step out in faith and change lives one heart and one child at a time. So Nicole, tell me a little bit about you. This program, as our viewers know, is designed with a very simple format. The first format is we want to know you. People don't care how much you know till they know how much you care. And so the way I've formatted this show is we want people to get to know you. What moved your heart and what motivated you to become a foster parent on staff at Second Chance Ranch? And then what was the journey that got you to the place now where you're working at a local bank and you're now in the process of becoming an adoptive forever mom to a precious little fella? And that's inspirational right there. And I know this is going to touch the hearts of people. So Nicole, where did you grow up?
Well, I spent the first half of my life in Illinois, and then when I was 13, I moved to Georgia and finished growing up there.
Illinois to Georgia to Arkansas?
Nope, it went from Illinois to Georgia to North Carolina to Missouri and then to Arkansas.
So I don't know if I can say this on camera, but that would make you a quasi-gypsy. Were somebody in the military?
No.
Running from the law?
My mom had a very interesting love life.
So y'all kind of moved around wherever she felt was the next destination she needed to be. Now, who was y'all?
So that would be my mom, myself, and my brother.
And who is your brother? My
brother is Brandon Menard. He's a maintenance man here.
Well, and all truth and reality, he's behind a camera right now.
He is behind a camera right now.
He serves here at the church, and he serves in our audio tech. Some of our television crew is off, so he's filling in because he has those abilities. And he oversees 25 acres here on Interstate 30 and about 100,000 square feet under roof. All that maintenance and grounds, along with his modest team of helpers. And we'd love you to contact us if you'd like to be interviewed to work in that department. Change and return air filters, touching up the wall, painting our back wall, helping our teachers with maintenance issues in the school. And so is he younger than you? How much younger is Brandon?
6 years.
6 years. So how old is Brandon?
28.
Well, and I can't ask you how old you are then. But he's a blessing here, and you are as well. So tell me, let's start with, you traveled around, you ended up in Arkansas. What part of Arkansas? In Benton, Bryant, Haskell?
It was the Benton area, Benton, Bryant.
And you were at what age about?
I moved down here when I was 28.
Oh, so you were already out of school.
Yeah, I was grown.
So tell me, did you go to high school somewhere?
I did. I went to high school in Georgia and graduated from that high school.
So are you a Bulldog fan?
They're okay.
No?
I don't really follow sports that much.
And so you made your way here at 28. And at the age of 28, what did you do when you arrived here?
Brandon and I moved in together in an apartment, and I started work at an insurance company as a temporary position that turned into full-time.
Then how did you find out about Second Chance Youth Ranch?
So the very first weekend that we moved here, we tried to find a church to go to, and Family Church of Bryant was the closest one to our apartment. And so we decided to try that one out. And my family and I just fell in love with it and started going there after that Sunday.
So was that at Hurricane Lake Apartments? The Greens or something?
The Lakes?
The Lakes, yeah. Because they've got a whole bunch of apartments next door. Well, so you, through the church, Family Church Bryant, which I happen to be the pastor, y'all got connected in the church with your mom and stepdad?
Yes.
And you were somehow found out about the ranch. Tell me that.
So Teresa Geikema was over the nursery at that point for Sunday school on Wednesday.
Infant through about 5. Yeah.
And so I really wanted to work with the nursery because that's what I did with my last church. So I hooked up with Teresa Geikema, and I worked in the nursery for, I want to say like 4 or 5 months on Sunday mornings and Wednesday nights.
Rocking the little babies. Yeah.
And I told her about my desire to be a foster parent, and she goes, well, there's someone I really think you need to meet, and that's Rachel Hubbard.
Yeah.
So at a women's fellowship night, Teresa was a speaker that night, so she asked me to sit at her table, which happened to be next to Rachel. And Rachel and I spent all night talking about foster care and the ranch and how I really wanted to work there. But at that time, the requirement was you needed to be married. And I was single, but I just really had the strong desire to be a parent.
Yeah.
And I wasn't married, and so the only way I could be a parent was to foster. And so I was looking into private foster care through Arkansas. And
through
that was
a Department of Children and Family Services?
Yes.
But when you talked to Rachel, you found out there was some support network that you could work with?
Yes. So Rachel and I met in August, and in October she called me and asked me if I would be interested in working at the ranch.
And you moved in, if I remember, that was what we call the bank building, which was our second foster home that we built, in 2007 probably. Well, actually, it wouldn't have been 2007 because we had children in 2005, so it would probably been 2002. So, and so you moved in and they gave you one sweet little child and you've lived happily ever after.
Completely.
No. How many kids did we give you?
I had 17 come through my house in the 3.5 years I was there.
But not at one time?
No.
How many when you moved in the very first time you moved in and went, oh, I'm a foster mom?
So I started Monday, and that Friday I got my very first girl. And then by the end of the month, I had 3.
3. So it's possible for you too. We're going to take a brief break, and then we'll come back and find out more about Nicole Bentley.
A mission field around you is filled with young hearts needing a forever family. And at Second Chance Youth Ranch, our team is committed to providing healthy, stable, loving homes and families to hurting children in the Arkansas foster care system and those up for adoption. Please contact us if you feel the tug at your heart to help foster or adopt, and find out the steps you could take to help fulfill a child's lifelong dream. Maybe you can't foster or adopt, but you could help. The need for thousands of children in the system is staggering. But with the help of faithful partners and business alliances, we are meeting those needs right now. Would you help us make a difference? Every gift, regardless of size, impacts a child's life directly and helps provide for a home in the gap right now. Visit the Second Chance Youth Ranch website at 2CYR.org to read more, watch the stories, and to make a contribution for a hurting child's care. Monthly partners are needed, so please contact us right away. And as you partner with this ministry, you are partnering with the Heavenly Father that has promised to be Father to the fatherless. God bless you for helping Second Chance Youth Ranch.
Hi, I'm Perry Black right here at Arkansas Christian Academy. Are you looking for a faith-based Christian education for your student? Arkansas Christian Academy just celebrated our 20th year right here in Central Arkansas. We're one of the best kept secrets in private school education right here in the state. Why don't you take a moment, visit us, visit our website, make a phone call, come take a tour. We would love to meet you and your family and show you the opportunities that are available to your student. We have golf, baseball, 8-man football, volleyball, and basketball, along with many other extracurricular activities and courses like IT and television. Why not take a moment, visit our website, make that phone call. I look forward to hearing from you and seeing you right here on our campus. God bless. Welcome back to Second Chance Youth Ranch. Look who's joined us. It's Nicole's brother, Brandon. Okay, Brandon, you go back behind the camera now. Second Chance Youth Ranch TV is really an unscripted program because we just want people to get to know really not us as much as about God's kingdom work and how they can play a part, an integral part in the life journey of a hurting child. Our special guest, if you're just now joining us, is Nicole Bentley. She began to work at the ranch as a single foster mom. Within a month, you had 3 foster children. Now, tell me, does my memory serve me correctly, but was one of those early children the one that you're now adopting, or at what point did he come into your home?
He was about the 3rd round of children that I got. So he came to live with me in 2019, and I started at the ranch in 2017.
Oh,
so he was actually the last sibling group that I got.
Yeah. So you might say, in some kind, loving way, God saved the best for last.
He really did.
Yeah. And all of our kids are precious, but God, again, He's a God of divine connections. And how God moved y'all all over the country to end up back in Saline County, working in our nursery at our church, a divine connection with Teresa, to Rachel, to your now soon-to-be forever son. And so if we just kind of jump forward, when will he become your forever son?
Hopefully soon. We're just waiting on a few rounds of paperwork to get done,
Really?
and then we'll be good to go.
So the process is typically 6 months.
Yes.
Once they move in, and DCFS and our team does their case studies and all that. So it's a process. It's kind of deliberate, a little bit of a pain, but no pain, no gain. It's worth the journey, isn't it?
Yes.
So tell me, what was it like, without scaring anybody off, because we're hiring at least 2 new foster families. We have homes right now, approximately $50,000 compensation package, food, utilities, insurance, automobile, and even the children. Isn't that a cool deal?
All in one.
And we would love to fill those houses up quickly before the end of 2021. We also have property in Benton where we, as soon as we can fully staff what we have in the midst of the COVID chaos, we'll start another foster home in town. And just this weekend, Billy and Rachel were at another church in Central Arkansas, training and equipping and informing another 12 or 14 or 15 couples that may not work at the ranch like you did, but are doing probably what you're doing right now, and that's fostering in town in their own personal home. And that's one thing that we have at the ranch, is the ability to kind of meet people where they are, and we also give them a tremendous network of support. So what was it like for you being a single young lady in a home with 3 or 4 kids? Was it a challenge every day?
Yes, it was challenging, but I had this whole network of people who at any moment that I needed them would come and help me.
Break that down and tell our viewers what kind of network. You were on campus at the ranch. You're 2 houses over is Billy and Rachel. Next door is the wood shop. Across the street's the hotel and the, quote, saloon. And there were foster parents in there as well.
Yes, when I first started, all 4 houses on campus were fully staffed. So you had the 2 houses up the hill and 2 houses what we would call down the hill.
Yeah.
So you had, at that time it was teenagers, so you had the 2 girls' houses and 2 boys' houses.
And since that time, we have 3 foster homes in town on our campus.
Yes.
And then the additional foster homes like yours, there's several of those in the Central Arkansas area. What kind of support did you get?
I had support from the other foster parents that were on campus. There were Billy and Rachel Hubbard, who are our operational directors.
Yeah.
We have a clinical director who would help as well.
Therapeutically.
Yes.
Did those clinical does the clinical staff not only help with the emotional and stresses of the child, do they help y'all too? Do
Oh,
they
yeah.
talk to y'all
Yeah.
through stuff? Yeah.
Yes, we had a therapist that was assigned just to our home, and after she was done with all the kids, she spent many a night on the porch with me, talking to me as well.
Now that therapist is a LCSW for people that understand all that jargon. I don't even always know all the initials. But you also had a case manager that's on our staff. And what does the case manager do to help foster parents, both on and off campus foster parents?
They are kind of our go-between for doctor's appointments and schooling. When you're out at the ranch, it was a little bit difficult because you are an hour away and you had multiple children, sometimes at all different schools.
Yeah.
And so if the school needed something or if the children had a doctor's appointment, the case manager would step in and often bring them to the medical appointment, or they would go to the school if the child needed something.
Yeah.
Or if the child unfortunately would make bad choices and get suspended, they would drive them all the way out to the ranch for me, so I didn't have to go
Well, our
get them.
kids never get suspended, but that is a good point. Should they ever?
Yeah.
A little bit tongue-in-cheek there. But you mentioned schools. Now, somebody who knows this ministry may say, well, why don't they go to Arkansas Christian Academy, which is right here on this 25-acre campus, not on the 300 acres out there near Perrin in Perryville? And the reason is because DCFS, Department of Children and Family Services, says the child must want to attend here. And like many children, they don't want to wear a uniform, they don't want to get their hair cut, they don't want to be held accountable. They would rather be in a public school setting. Maybe they have friends there, or maybe they have other siblings there. But we make sure that any child that wants to attend Arkansas Christian Academy gets a scholarship from the ranch, from Family Church Bryant, and from our partners. So, but our staff comes alongside. Now as a foster mom, soon to be a adoptive full-time forever mom, as if somehow that's different than fostering, they also help you in the community, not just for our on-staff, on-campus foster moms. So you still get that support.
I do. I called Stephanie Newton, who is one of our case managers, and she's not even the case manager for my house.
Yeah.
And I had questions about doctor's appointments in school because I hadn't really done that before. And she has answered every phone call. She's answered every question. Another case manager also comes as well.
Yeah, now you work at a local bank, so that case manager is really an asset to our foster parents in case that child needs assistance at school with a counselor and or a doctor's appointment, a dental appointment, or something like that. So that's really a pretty good support system, and a really needed support system at times, because our viewers know you don't ever turn off as a parent.
No.
Had a guy tell me just this morning, hey, we fostered this weekend in our home. We had a number of kids. And I said, well, you didn't look tired at church? And he said, well, we were. Parenting is a challenge, but it's worth it. So we'll be right back with Nicole.
So how many years have you been in foster care?
I don't know, really. My name is Davion. I am 14 years old. I am in 8th grade. I love school. The math, the reading, and the science, especially science. I think I'm positive more. I think before I do, and if I hear something, I repeat it and I keep it in my mind and try to work towards my goal. I want to be the other so I can find a real family instead of being in foster care.
What are some positive things that you think would come out of being adopted?
Probably no arguing, no fussing or fighting. Other kids are my own kind of brother. Thank you for trying to adopt me.
Hey, welcome back to Second Chance Youth Ranch TV. Our special guest, one of our former on-campus foster parents, now in our community foster parents, and just perhaps weeks away from being a finalized adoptive mom of a precious little 6-year-old. When's his birthday?
In November, so he's almost 7.
A November baby. I'm a November baby. He will be a life changer. And you already are.
Thank you.
When's his birthday?
November 30th.
I'm just 17 days older than him. If you're taking notes, my birthday's on November 13th, and I probably look a little older than he does, and I'm probably not near as precious. Tell us about what's it been like going through this process. Again, how many years have you been in this process of fostering?
Altogether, about 4.5.
And what's it like? Tell us first the highlights. Inspire somebody tonight.
There's so many children. Like I said, I've had 17 children live in my home, and I am still in contact with many of them. And to just be a part of their life and to be a part of a story and know that I was able to offer just a safe place to be for however long they were with me.
Yeah, and even though you're legally becoming a forever mom or adoptive mom, to those students in your home, those 17 you said, aren't you still their mom?
Yes.
Now, we're not trying to take place of their birth mom, but they do call you mom, and they do still reach out to you, don't they? And so it really doesn't just change the life of the kids, does it?
No.
It really, as difficult as parenting is, it really changes our lives forever, doesn't it?
Yes.
What would you say to anybody that just willy-nilly happened to be flipping channels and ended up looking at you and I, you and me, whichever we are grammatically, and they're now by divine appointment watching this program? What would you say to them if they've ever contemplated how they can change the world?
Just do it. Just take that last leap. Don't be afraid. Jump in with both feet and just have the knowledge that God, like you said, will equip you for anything that might come across your path.
And so they could contact Billy and or Rachel. I think the phone number is 501-594-5200. Does that sound right? I should know that. I just never call it. You know, it's saved in my phone numbers. And they could contact us here, 847, area code 501-847-1559, and we will put you in contact. They can go to the website, 2CYR.org. There's information there. They can go to our Facebook page. I'm sure there's probably Twitter and other stuff. But we're here to help people connect. And we're not looking to just find somebody that wants to foster and just give them a child and they're on their own. We have worked diligently now since 2005 when we got our first 18-year-old young man from Hot Springs, who I happen to see where I shop and get sometimes my oil changed, where he works. We've been getting children all this time, and we've worked diligently to build a support network, and we're always looking how can we improve and do a better job. We reserve the right to get better, and kind of like, you know, in America we reserve, you know, we desire to form a more perfect union. We desire to form a more perfect connection with our friends, our partners, and our Victory Television Network viewers. What would you tell those folks? Once you've jumped in, how has it impacted you?
It's changed my life. I'm a much better person now. I've learned so much. I've grown so much.
Have you learned how to lean into the Lord even more?
Yes. Yeah. My relationship with God is so much closer than it was when I started, because there are days that the only thing that got me through was leaning on God.
Yeah. And Rachel and Billy.
Yes.
Yeah. And that's what we bring, is that support network. Now, Second Chance Youth Ranch and this TV program is all designed to make divine connections with people who maybe for whatever reason in the midst of their life journey, like you, traveling all over the United States, and now they've come to that point of decision and they're working through all the questions, the fear of the unknown. You are, as we all are, imperfect examples, but you're a perfect example of someone who just said, You know what? I've always had this heart's desire. That was my mother's dream from childhood. Over 100 kids passed through our home, and then Mom at the Methodist home. But when she went through the divorce, instead of just giving up on fostering as an individual family, she came on staff at the Methodist Children's Home in Little Rock. And your fostering was different. You came to us first and then moved to individual fostering and now adopting. So tell us about your young fella. We only got about a minute, but what can you tell us about him, and what have you seen since he's been in your loving care, how he's grown and developed?
He is so funny. He can make you laugh all the time, and how he puts things together is so amazing, how his mind works. When he first came to me when he was 4, he wasn't potty trained. He only said 3 words, and they weren't very understandable. Yeah. And to now he talks all the time. He never stops.
What grade's he in?
He's in 1st grade.
1st grader. Wow. You know, I remember that little guy. And when Brandon told me before you walked in that he was 7, I was shocked. I thought he was maybe 5.
Yeah, he's tiny.
Yeah. So it's just beautiful to be a part of the process. I know there are people that are watching because I know how God works. And I know they're probably going, oh, isn't she wonderful? Isn't she sweet? Wouldn't that be great if we could do something like that? You don't have to come on campus to work for us, but we have the opportunity. If you want to just foster a child or just 2 children or just kind of get your feet wet, or you say, I'd just like to mentor, they can contact us here at 2CYR.org or 501-594-5200. What would you say to them? You got 30 seconds. Fire somebody up out there.
You can do it. If I can do it, you can do it. It's so amazing what you can do with your life, how you can touch others. I have a girl that was a foster child of mine. When she got adopted by somebody else, changed her middle name to my name because she said I was the first mama she ever had. And that's life-changing.
Yes.
To know that she is my little starfish.
Yeah.
I can't help everybody, but I helped her, and it meant something to her. And you can take that moment and you can help just one person. That's all it takes.
Yeah, and you never know, like this young man of yours that's born in November, like myself, can be a world changer, and so can you. We want to hear from you. Pray for us. We're praying for you. See you next time right here at Second Chance Youth Ranch TV.